evening, I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. Annapolis police arrest a suspect in the case where a midshipman's mother was killed by a stray bullet. Anne Arundel County police have 29-year-old Angelo Harrod in custody in connection with the murder of Michelle Cummings. The Houston area mother was fatally shot at her Annapolis hotel shortly after dropping her son off at the Naval Academy. Cummings was not the intended target. Police say there were also 2 other victims in the case.
Mr. Harrod was apprehended on June 29th. He was identified as a person of interest after watching the videos. He was arrested on an outstanding warrant issued by the Anne Arundel County Department of Detention Facilities on May 3rd and held without bond at the Jennifer Road Detention Center since the 30th. He had an ankle bracelet on, and he was on home detention. He cut the ankle bracelet off, and he was and absconded from his home and became a fugitive. He was charged with murder in the first degree, 2 counts of attempted murder in the first degree, involuntary manslaughter, reckless endangerment, possession of a firearm, loaded firearm, use of handgun, and a violent crime. And he's being held, again, without bond.
Cummings' son, Leonard Trey Cummings III, took the oath of office less than 48 hours after his mother's death. A Baltimore police officer faces murder charges for the death of his stepson. The victim is 15-year-old Daysan DJ Jones. According to officials, the teen's mother went to pick up the child from her stepfather's home earlier this month. That man, who is now the suspect in the case, is Eric Banks Jr. Ultimately, officers found the boy unresponsive in an upstairs attic crawl space at the Banks residence. Bloody clothes were also uncovered during the search of the home.
Mr. Banks was immediately taken into custody, only to become combative, extremely combative, and he attempted to disarm one of our officers. It took several officers to intervene to get Mr. Banks into custody.
The cause of death in the case has been ruled as asphyxiation. Banks has been charged with 1st and 2nd degree murder and child abuse. Well, tomorrow, July 15th, is the official deadline for Maryland taxpayers to file their 2020 returns. Comptroller Peter Francho extended the normal tax deadline of April 15th by 3 months. Francho is sending out a reminder that branch offices are open and ready to help taxpayers with their state filing needs.
I gave a 90-day forbearance for businesses and Marylanders to hold off without any penalties or interest additions. The new date is July 15th, which is Thursday. People need to file their tax returns. We've already processed about 3 million tax returns from people that did not need the forbearance. But this forbearance for the last 750,000 folks that need to file their taxes on Thursday, this has been a crucial form of relief. We're talking billions of dollars they were able to keep in their pockets and use for their small businesses or their own family budgets. But we need to remind people that Thursday, you have got to send us a tax return, or you have to send us some kind of communication that says, well, I don't have any money, or whatever your explanation is, but you've got to stay in touch with us, because after July 15th, we're going to begin applying penalties and interest for late payment.
Meantime, Francho says if you are filing an amended return in hopes of getting a refund, make sure you send the document to the comptroller by registered mail, not certified mail, and keep the receipt. Maryland's second highest court ruled this month that proof is required in cases where claims are not received or can't be tracked down. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The state health department has confirmed 104 new cases, including 21 in Prince George's County since yesterday. The positivity rate is at 1.04. Meantime, state health officials say 4 people have died of COVID in the last 24 hours. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. Coming up, local teens in Largo are picking up gardening skills this summer. The story from Byron Scott right after the break. Stay with us.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going to changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes now that have just begun under a purple sun. There's many reasons we are what we've become. I'm going through changes now. Things could be different, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back. Some local high school students are rolling up their sleeves, tilling the soil, and supplying the community with the fruit of their labor. Byron Scott has her story.
I'll put that in there.
They are breaking up the soil at this ever-expanding community garden in Largo. Planted this spring and overseen by Kevin Alsop, the garden is at the International High School at Largo, where some 40 students are helping out.
And I saw the opportunity of helping others and helping the school. So the teacher asked me if I wanted to help, and I said, sure.
The requirement to come to our school is that English is not your first language, and so our students come from both the United States and the rest of the world.
Growing in the various garden beds.
Right now we have mostly heat-loving crops like tomatoes, peppers. We have some blackberry plants, some passion fruit up in here, plenty of herbs.
Fruits, peppers, and some flowers.
The school is also a food distribution point for the community. Much of what's grown here will be part of that supply chain.
So we have a monthly food distribution where we provide food to our families. We have 95% of our school is farms eligible, meaning that they qualify for free and reduced meals. So this food is really a help to them, and then the food that we distribute monthly. So this will supplement that.
Items in the garden were donated by the Lowe's store in Largo.
We have a nursery program that we do donations through plants and stuff that we don't, materials that we don't want anymore, that we've gotten 100% credit for. So we try to reach out to schools, churches, police stations, fire departments, anyone who will take the donated materials.
Alsop, who has curated countless community gardens in our area, plans to expand this garden next year by adding a greenhouse.
And the greenhouse allows us to, of course, extend the season. It allows us to start from seed, produce through the whole process. We produce all our own plants, all the plants produced for the most part.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
In other news, a U.S. Senate committee hears firsthand accounts of problems in the Postal Service. The Capital Region, which includes the D.C. suburbs and southern Maryland, ranks in the bottom 10 nationwide, with only about 69% on-time deliveries. The Baltimore service region, which includes most of Maryland, is even worse, with just under a 62% rate.
For the last year, I've been hearing from thousands of constituents, thousands, about the slow postal delivery, and I share their frustration and their anger at this unacceptable situation. Medical shipments have gone missing. Many small businesses cannot get their products to customers, and people are getting hit with late fees for bill payments that did not arrive on time because of mail delivery delays.
When you combined the 50 or so changes that the Postal Executive Team instituted, along with some of the larger, broader changes that the Postmaster General brought in, particularly around late and extra trips, this had a really significant impact on service because it was happening along with employee availability issues and an increased number of packages in the mail because of COVID.
Today, however, we leave mail behind because of plant processing issues. Machines break down, less machines in the building. We make fewer trips. We are understaffed, and we're required to stick to a rigid delivery schedules, which require drivers like myself to leave with trucks that are not fully loaded.
Senator Chris Van Hollen chaired the subcommittee on financial services and general government Tuesday afternoon. Misconduct on metro trains and buses could lead to passenger bans. WMATA is considering a policy change that would temporarily ban riders for sex and weapons-related offenses while on metro property. A first offense would lead to a ban of 14 days. A second offense would result in a 30-day ban. And a third offense leads to a year suspension. Suspended riders that enter metro property are subject to arrest. More than 50 union workers rallied at the University of Maryland to demand better school telework policies. Members of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Local 1072 rallied at the steps of the university's main administration building yesterday afternoon. The group wants school leadership to extend and expand its flexible teleworking rules. About 600 staffers signed a petition in favor of changes to the policy. And still to come, local senior activity centers are back open in Prince George's County. This story and more right after the break. Stay with us.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Thank you for staying with us. Juvenile justice advocates are celebrating a unanimous decision by Maryland's top court. The Court of Appeals ruled Monday that a judge must now balance perceived public safety concerns against treatment programs available in the juvenile justice system. The case stems from Baltimore County, where a judge denied an offender's request to be tried in juvenile rather than adult court. The High Court decision means judges cannot use public safety as the sole criteria for transfer to an adult prison. Well, Prince George's County is back open. That includes all attractions at the National Harbor. Experience Prince George's says the wheel and even the waterways are available for everyone. The Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center is also ready for guests downtown. General Manager Dan McKeon says this helps the county's economic development.
So it's putting people back to work. I mean, 700 stars coming back to work for us. You know, these are people from the community, and this is their opportunity to do what they love, earn money, and pursue their livelihood again. So, and that's all gonna, I hope, feed out to the county. And National Harbor obviously is excited about us having guests here to come out and visit their restaurants and amenities.
People are ready to move, they're ready to travel, they're ready to be outside. And so what this does is allows our businesses and our employees to get back to work. And we're excited about that.
For a complete list of what is open in Prince George's County, visit experienceprincegeorges.com. Everyone 60 years and older, listen up. The county senior activity centers are back open. This is the scene this morning at the Camp Springs location. This center has fitness activities and a computer room and even a pool room. The Department of Parks and Recreation will host several clubs and classes, including total body workouts, line dancing, and yoga. All but 2 of the centers are now open in Prince George's County.
With the pandemic hitting, some of them were just socially isolated, wasn't able to engage with their friends. So this social component is very vital for the life of our seniors. So when we open our doors, I mean, we're excited that our seniors are going to come back, and we're going to make sure that we have activities for them to participate in.
Having been closed for a year, many of them have suffered due to isolation, which causes depression. So we're glad that they're back out in the facilities to interact with their peers.
For more information, visit mncppc.org. And now for your weather forecast. Tonight, possible thunderstorms, lows around 72 degrees. Thursday, sunny skies with highs near 93. Friday, sunny with possible thunderstorms, highs in the mid-90s. Saturday, showers likely, highs again in the mid-90s. And that wraps up your CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Butts. Join us again tomorrow. Have a good night.